Guys, I know it's past time we get back to this, but tonight we're going to see if we can't solve the carburation equation. Also, this time, we're going to meet our shop assistant. This is Gadget. Gadget's a workaholic, as you can see. First thing I have to do tonight is pick back up where we left off. We need to get this plate off and clean this main body up. Now I did find the tool we need. It's called a, can you see that? Can you see that? Right? It's so hard to focus. It's called a clutch head. Like I said, it's really unnecessary. We could have used a Phillips and Allen, a triple square, a cheese head, a Torx. I mean, there's a million things you could have used. But we've got the tool, so we're going to go ahead and get this thing taken apart and cleaned up. So once I got the specialty screws out, we were able to get this plate off. Now this plate has some castings. It looks like it's got some type of circuitry built into it. Underneath that was a paper gasket, on top of a paper gasket, on top of the main body, and you can see the different ports there for those circuits to flow through. Let's get all these old gaskets off. And now it's time to clean up all these parts. So in order to save time, I went inside to recruit some help from the shop assistant. But apparently he's unionized. So guys, I've been doing a lot of research over the past few days trying to figure out the best method for cleaning a Holley carburetor. After a lot of late nights, I do believe I've come up with a preferred method to clean these things. Check this out. First step, you got to bring it outside, put it in the yard. Then you got to get your hose and do a pre-soak. The pre-soak is key. It really helps loosen up the dirt. But then the trick, this is the part most people miss, is you got to get your thumb just right over the end of the hose, get that pressure up, so that you can really get that deep down dirt and grease out of there. Alright, that's probably good there. Let's take this thing inside and see how we did. Guys, I don't want to seem like the next Billy Mays, but man, that stuff is amazing. Let's see if we can put all these pieces back together again. Here are the parts I'm going to be working with to get this carburetor back on its feet again. As you can see, they send you a few extra bits and pieces when you order these kits. So what we have here is a whole bunch of gaskets, and then we've got 2 bags of small parts. Definitely not going to be using all those. You can see the power valve here in that bag. Right here is an accelerator pump, and here's a diaphragm for the secondary valves. Let's see if we can figure out which ones we need and get this thing back together. As you can see, we've attached the main body back to the flappy valve plate and reinstalled this plate here on the side with some fresh gaskets. Let's talk about bowls. No, not that bowl. We live in Florida. That stuff's not legal yet. This is the front bowl from this Holley carburetor. It has 2 primary functions other than just holding fuel. First of which is this here on the bottom. This is called an accelerator pump. When you first give it gas, this is going to push in on a diaphragm which squirts fuel from that little hole through the carburetor back into the engine to give the engine a little bit more pickup so it doesn't stall when you first give it gas. The second function is just as important, is this main fuel line here. It goes to a needle valve in this area here. Now that needle valve is closed right now, but as the fuel level drops in the bowl, that needle valve opens and allows it to fill back up. Quite similar to the thing in the back of your toilet. Here's a better look at what we're installing in this bowl. Now this part here on the bottom, this is the accelerator pump diaphragm. Not a lot to it. We're just going to swap it out and put the new one in. These brass pieces here, these are the needle valves, and these are the set screws for the top of them. And all this here is the small parts kit that I dumped out. As you can see, this comes with an assortment of stuff. You're not going to use 2/3 of this, but keep it handy. You never know when you might need it for something else. And now I'm going to do the rear bowl, which as you can see only has a needle valve and a float. Not a whole lot to this one, so this will be quick. So now that we've finished a couple of bowls, we're going to move on to this part here, which I believe is called the metering block. It has a couple of screws, one on each end to adjust things. It's got the little power valve guy here in the middle, and it's got these two things here, which I think they're called jets. If they're not, we're going to call them jets. So we're going to clean this up, get all the gasket material off, replace the parts that I have in my kit to replace, and put it back on the carburetor. And there you have it, all washed up, ready to go. It's amazing what a proper cleaning will do for a carburetor. I dare say it's hard to make a carburetor look better than that, but not impossible. Check this out. This scoop has more displacement than the factory engine did. Well guys, it looks like that's going to be all for the carburation portion of this project. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.